Not a single soul, no one asked me about my jeans today, but I'm going to take the time to educate you anyway because this is everyone's problem. Everyone needs to be aware of Denim Day. What is Denim Day? Denim Day happens every last Wednesday of April, which is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. This came as a result of a grape case that sparked outrage in Italy and eventually across the globe. Listen to this foolishness here. Now, this was just 1990. 1990. That was yesterday. The Denim Day story began in Italy, 1992, when an 18-year-old girl was raped by a 45-year-old driving instructor who was taking her on her very first driving lesson. He took her to an isolated road, pulled her out of the car, removed her jeans, and forcibly raped her. At the end, he threatened her life if she told anyone. The survivor had the courage to report this to her family and to the police. The perpetrator was then arrested, prosecuted, and convicted to rape and sentenced to jail. Years later, this son of a bitch appealed the conviction, claiming that the sex was consensual, leading the Italian Supreme Court to overturn the conviction and release the perpetrator to lesser charges of indecent exposure. Now, how does that work? A statement from the court argued that because the victim was wearing very tight jeans, he had to have help to remove them. And by removing the jeans, it was not rape, but it was consensual sex. It was stated that it is impossible to remove jeans that tight without help. Now let that foolishness sink in. This became known throughout Italy as the jeans alibi. Enraged by the verdict, the women, there were no men that were present, the women in the Italian parliament launched a protest wearing jeans on the steps of the Supreme Court. This protest was picked up by international media, which inspired the California Senate and Assembly to do the same on the steps of the Capitol in Sacramento, California. This is happening to women all over the world, to where we are victimized and then re-traumatized in the justice system. Where is the justice? Who is serving in our government? Things like this are happening. Ridiculous convictions and overturns and releases are happening like this today. I sit in courtrooms with victims of such crimes, with perpetrators who have stacks of charges, who are given a slap on the wrist so they can continue to do the same thing to somebody else. This has to stop. There is no invitation to grape. It doesn't matter what you wear. It doesn't matter about your sexual history. It doesn't matter about your past. No one deserves this. And I am so happy about the fact that people are feeling more empowered about speaking on our experiences, speaking on our injustices, and being brave and courageous enough to share our stories, because a lot of survivors take things like this to the grave. And as a survivor, I know the stigma that's attached. I know the pain that's attached to holding on to a secret that you secretly blame yourself for. I stand in solidarity with all survivors. I will not be silenced. And ladies, we must stand together. We must educate until something is done to change these outcomes, because it's happening too often. For more information about Denim Day or how your organization can participate and be educated on this, you can visit denimday.org.